Hello everyone, welcome back to FTTV. Now take a look at this picture. Have a really good look at it. Look at line A, look at line B. Okay, now put your hand up if you think line A is the longest line. Any more? Okay, put your hands down. Now put your hand up if you think line B is the longest line. Anybody else? Everybody put their hand up for one or the other? Okay, put your hands down. Well, actually, both those lines are exactly the same length. Wow, who'd have thought it? Should we do another one? Yeah? Okay, all right, so take a look at this picture now. Have a really good look at the lines that are going across the page. Now this time I don't want you to put your hand up, I just want you to think about it in your own head. Have a look at those lines. How do they look to you? Do they look wonky? Wibbly wobbly maybe? Like they're getting closer together? Well, actually, all of those lines are actually completely straight. Wow. Okay, should we do one more? Yeah? Okay, so have a look at this picture here. Have a good look at those orange circles. Okay? Now what I want you to do, you've got 10 seconds. I want you to turn to the person next to you and have a quick chat about which one of those orange circles you think is bigger. Off you go, 10 seconds. Okay, well actually both of those dots, you've probably guessed it by now, they are both actually exactly the same size. Did any of those surprise you? They're quite strange, aren't they? Now sometimes when we look at things, when we think about things, we trust our eyes to look at what we're seeing and make decisions about it. But sometimes actually we need to use our brains to think about what we're seeing and to ask questions about it. And that is called being open-minded. And that's what we're thinking about today, being open-minded. Oh, I think I forgot to say earlier, my name's Bex, by the way. Now, asking questions and being open-minded is a really good thing to be. And there's a story in the Bible about a man who was open-minded and about because he was open-minded, he was able to help someone. Let's have a listen.
The Good Samaritan. In a faraway country, such a long time ago, Jesus was talking to the people below. A man asked a question to Jesus above. "Who is my neighbour, Lord? Who should I love?" He shaded his eyes the better to see. Who asked the question? Who should it be? "Well now, let me tell you," Jesus replied. "It's about a man who walked mile after mile. There once was a man who lived far away. He needed to go on a journey one day, from Jerusalem city to Jericho. A difficult walk, a long way to go. He took a cloth bag with a leather strap, and inside packed food, a drink and a map. With strong shoes to wear and a stick made of oak, he set off, his bag hidden under his cloak. The path was stony and steeply winding. The day was hot and the sun was blinding. "I hope I don't have any bad luck today," thought the man as he shooed a fly away. The journey is long and the mountains are high. The sun will be hot as it climbs the sky. The path isn't safe for those walking and riding, where robbers and thieves are out there hiding. In the heat of the moment, he sang an old song to lift his spirits as he marched along. "I'll keep to the path, and near the top, I can find a safe place where I can stop." A midday approach, a safe place was found. He spread out his cloak and sat on the ground. But as he removed his bag from his shoulder, 3 robbers jumped out from behind a boulder. The man held his back, crying, "Don't take my money." But the robbers took everything. They found it funny to leave the man there on the ground with no shoes, no cloak, no hat, just a cut and a bruise. For the journey is long and the mountains are high, and the sun is hot as it climbs in the sky. The path isn't safe for those walking or riding. There's robbers out there who are watching and hiding. For 2 hours more the man lay in the heat when a priest came, dusty from head to feet. "Oh, someone's coming to help me at last." But the priest shook his head and hurried straight past. For 3 hours more the man lay in the heat. In the distance he heard approaching feet. The smartly dressed man, who didn't like trouble, quickly went on as quick on the double. 4 hours passed, the man lay in heat, and presently heard clip-clopping of feet. "Oh no, now I'm finished, will no one help me?" For the man with a donkey didn't look too friendly. The journey is long, and the mountain is high, and the sun is hot as it climbs the sky. The path isn't safe for those walking and riding, when there's robbers out there who are watching and hiding. The Samaritan was shocked to see a man lying hurt, and he rushed at once and knelt in the dirt. "Don't worry, poor fellow, I'll help," he said, glancing to see if the robbers had fled. He carefully gave the man water and bread, folded up his cloak and put it under his head. He washed his cuts and gave him something to wear. He showed him that actually he really does care. They reached an inn, and as the sunset burned red, gave this man a meal and told him to have a nice comfortable bed. "Look after him, please. I must leave now. I'll pay when I get back, I promise with a vow." "Now tell me," said Jesus when the story was done, "who was the neighbour that day in the sun? A priest, such a holy man, hurrying by, or the man smartly dressed who turned the blind eye?" "The Samaritan, of course," the crowd replied. "Without his help, the poor man would have died." "Yes," said Jesus, "it's a lesson indeed. Love and care for everyone, whatever the need. For the journey is long and the mountain is high, and the sun is hot as it climbs the sky. When someone needs help, and it's all down to you, show them some love and be a good Samaritan too."
In that story, the first two men, they walked past the man who was hurt. They didn't stop and help. But the third man, the Samaritan man, he chose to stop and help, even though the Samaritans and the Jews didn't normally have anything to do with each other. But he chose to be open-minded, not to show any judgment, and to do what he could to help. We are all human, and we all believe slightly different things and think slightly different things. But as a Christian, I believe that God loves every single one of us, and that God thinks every single one of us matters, no matter what. The Bible tells us that we are all made in God's image, and that means that we should celebrate our differences. Maybe there are things about people that you think you know, but perhaps you don't know. Maybe there's people in your class that you think you know really, really well, but actually there's something about them that you don't know. Maybe you don't know them quite as well as you think you do. Or maybe there's someone in your class that you don't know very well at all. Could you perhaps today try and take the time to get to know that person a little bit better? Okay, I'm going to say a prayer now, and if you agree with my prayer, you might like to join in with a great big Amen at the end. Dear God, please help us to be like the Samaritan, not to judge people, but just because they might be different. Amen. Now, you might remember that we have been finding things, discovering things in our box here. Now today, shall we see what we've got inside the box today? Let's have a look. We have a book. And it says on the front, it says, "Don't judge a book by its cover." So that's a really important message. Not to judge a book by its cover, not to judge other people. By Okay, see you next time.